Hello everyone, my name is Colin and this is a day at the Hilly Bees Apiary. I'll be glad to show you all around, show you a little bit of the process, how we attend to the bees, how we keep them happy, how we make sure they can supply us with a good, nutritious, well-balanced flow of honey every year. So stick with us and we'll guide you through the process. Now, the first thing you got to do is you got to walk with your smoker. This is the smoker here. Lets out a lot of nice, cool smoke for the bees to smell. And what this does is it makes them believe there's a fire. And they'll ignore me and they'll tend to the brood, which is the young bees, the eggs, and the queen, to make sure that they're okay. And that gives me the opportunity to work with them without getting too many interference from the bees. You'll see how this works. So what I'm doing right now is I'm cracking open the hive and I'm just going to let a little bit of smoke in. Of course you can't see me when I'm doing this. There we go. The bees make a little bit of noise because they're fanning their wings, trying to keep the place safe because they think there's a fire outside. Now, the next thing we do is we lift up the top cover. That's the part I'm going to raise up right here for you. And it's off. Put this aside. And now we've got the inner cover. See, there's a bit of ants here causing a little bit of a problem for us, but that's okay. We're going to deal with all of this. So we remove the inner cover. We got to put a little smoke in here again because they don't always get the message. And they seem to be doing quite well. Now this dark stuff here, we call this propolis. And what this is a bee glue. They use it to seal the hive, to seal things to the hive, to seal the hive itself so that nothing can come in or out. It's one of the methods they use to make sure that everything is kept clean and well regulated in the hive. I'm going to scrape some of this propolis off so you can see it. It's got stuff mixed in here like dead bees and stuff. You can just put that aside. Well, usually when you open a hive, there's a lot of bees that are going to come out at you, but my hives have been kept at a condition where not too many bees are in the hive right now, but that's about to change. When I'm done, in about 2 weeks to 3 weeks, there's going to be a lot more bees in these hives, and whenever you see this video again, things are going to look a little different. Okay, now we're going to remove this top part here, and that's what we call the super. Inside of the super there are frames, and these frames, you're going to see it right now, these frames are what keep the honey stored in these cells here. It's called honeycomb cells. The bees go in, like this one here, they go into each individual cell, they put honey inside, and they fan it with their wings until it evaporates to maybe around 17 to 21% of water. That becomes a very thick substance. That's the honey that you and I drink and enjoy so much. But right now, the bees haven't started putting any honey in there, so it's going to look empty. Taking it off, and this now is what we call the brood chamber. You're going to get a better look. This is the brood chamber. As you can see, there are bees on top, but just a little bit of bees on top. And there are a lot of bees hidden between these wooden slates called frames. But they're going to come out just a bit when I'm checking this out. Let's see if I can give it an angle. There we go. Okay. These are going to get a little more agitated because now we're really disturbing their hive. But I'm going to be over soon. What we do is we lift up these frames one at a time, we check it out. Oh, they're getting agitated. We lift them up one at a time, we check them out, make sure everything's okay. Right now the bees are laying something called pollen. I'm sure you've heard about pollen already. It's the colorful stuff you're seeing in between these honeycomb cells that the bees are walking around so eagerly. The bees use pollen to rear their young and also to make a substance called royal jelly, which they feed to the queen. Pollen is an important part of a healthy hive. Never forget that. Yep, they're getting agitated again. This is what's called the brood. The brood consists of these cappings you're seeing here, the dark cappings. These are cap cells, and in between these cap cells you'll see some open cells with some white stuff on the inside. Those white stuff are going to be larvae and eggs. You'll see mostly eggs on this side here, and the larvae you'll see it more in between this area here. It's a little better to see on this side here. It's the different stages the bees go through in their development in life, so that when the cells are capped, that's the final stage called the pupa stage, the pupal stage, and from that stage, after a little more than a week or so, they become fully matured bees. This hive seems to be doing quite okay, although there are some frames here that are a bit empty, and that's because during the rainy season, or what we call the wet season in Trinidad, a lot of the bees would have reproduced and created what we call a swarm of bees. That activity is called swarming. It's where you see something like a big ball of bees just hanging around on a light post or a fence or something. I'm sure some of you have seen that already. It's a bit of a pet peeve to look at. It's a natural part of the bee's reproductive cycle. It happens in the wet season, and it sometimes happens in the dry season. But it's not something we like to encourage as beekeepers, because every time the bees swarm, we lose bees. And it takes them a while to reproduce again to make enough bees so that they can take advantage of the honey flow. The honey flow is simply what we call the season when the bees collect enough nectar to make honey that we can harvest and sell to you, our customers. I'm going to go back ahead and cover this hive up, but I think it's in a good condition. That's it. Thank you for joining us at Hilly Bees Apiaries.